Injury update, I guess. Start with Ricky and then Chad and Spencer.
Nothing has changed until tomorrow. Ricky's going to wait and see how he feels and what he can do tomorrow. Chad, the same thing. Spencer's doing a little better. We know that. Whether he's going to be able to go or not at this point, I'm not sure.
Odds are, though, that if you're waiting for Ricky tomorrow and he's not going to run right into doing everything at full speed, that odds would say that you're likely going to be focusing completely on prepping Jarius for the weekend.
We focused on Jarius, but if Ricky's able to go out tomorrow and play, he's going to play. So the odds are all coming down to where he's at and how he feels. And we're not going to ask him to go out there today and test it. We'll wait until tomorrow and know then probably.
He did a little soft tossing on the field before the game on Monday, so we're able to see that at least. From what you've been able to see with the soft toss, where is he?
He's been back and forth. You know, it's the plant leg, and so it's kind of him transferring weight from his right side to his left side. And just talking to him today, I know it's feeling a little bit better today than it was a couple of days ago. So, you know, like I said, I told him the other day not to rush it, and that we'll wait as long as we have to wait, and Jarius will do his job in the time being. But you know, Ricky's the type of guy that one day he's going to say I can go, and until that happens, we'll just plan on playing Jarius.
Is he right on schedule? Is he ahead? Is he a little behind from what the doctors say?
He's at least on schedule, if not ahead, I would say.
And how's Swayze's thumb?
Swayze's thumb is still sore. We're going to have to check him out in practice and see how he does tomorrow.
I have to ask you, yesterday you talked about coaching and that it needed to improve, specifically on details.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say practices would change at all, but how does that change then your approach? If it's not in practice where the details have to be worked out, or from a coaching perspective, then where do you have to fill the gap?
Meetings. I mean, a lot of the details come down to meetings when you're installing something or when you're going over practice on film. Part of the thing we do out here is not to coach them between plays because you wouldn't be able to in a game, right? They're in the middle of a drive, and the detail comes in the meeting rooms and in the classroom, and the detail and the pictures that we draw and the way that they study. And so that's where we as coaches can get better and just make sure there's no gray area, that everybody knows exactly what's expected to be done on every play and on every assignment.
You guys have had in the last month 3 opportunities to take first place. Now that you've looked at it, you can look at all of that body of work or body of disappointment maybe. Are details the thing that's holding this team back? Because to reference BC, you went ahead and said maybe I should have been aggressive in my play calling earlier in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, there's a million different reasons. I mean, you can keep pulling up all the negatives. The fact is we're 7-7, we're 1 game out of first place, and everybody's had negatives, and so have we. And is it details? Yes. Is it turnovers? Yes. It's all those things. It's not ever just one thing. And so I can understand that you want me to give you one thing for a big headline, but that's not the case. And so all those things that I've been talking about all year, that's what's the difference in winning and losing. And there isn't one answer for those things.
Scott, as a former quarterback, the plant leg, mechanically, how important is it?
It's very important. I mean, that's where all the weight transfers, and it takes the stress of the throw motion and the hips clearing. So it's very important. You know, he's got a brace that he feels really comfortable with. It's just, you know, as long as it will feel loose, he's not going to go. And until he feels it completely tighten up, then that's when I think he's going to pull the trigger. I think he's a tough guy, and I think he'll be back sooner than most.
When you looked at Jarius' play from Monday, was there anything mechanically that you saw that he should maybe pay a little more detail to?
No, I mean, we've talked about him tightening up his drop a little bit. Sometimes he's a little bit too long, which gets him too much depth, and makes guys easier to run around the corner. And so now he's got to climb the pocket and adjust his feet and things like that. But mechanically, that's the one thing really we've been working with Jarius about. But his technique's is sound. I mean, there's just a couple of plays where he probably should have made a different decision with the football and would have been more efficient. But mechanically, he's pretty good.
Have you guys ever considered the scenario of having Andre start and free up an import somewhere else?
At tailback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough with Andre's history this year of injuries. I mean, it's such a physical position to play, and with all the blocking, especially all the blitzing the teams are doing this year, it's just a little bit dangerous to put him in a spot where he's going to take that many hits every week. He's our backup and our emergency guy if something like that would happen, but we just feel like we can get more out of him keeping him at receiver.
Can you comment on maybe Almar Carey or Kenyon Rambo? Do you think both guys you think deserve another shot, or I know with Kenyon, it's been a groin or a.
Yeah, Kenyon has been borderline injured. He'll get his shot this week to
Okay.
win his job back, and we'll see how those two compete. And same thing with Ahmad. I mean, TJ's come in and he's done a good job for the most part, and Ahmad's going to have to win that spot back, and how they works out during practice will be decided on by the defensive staff and myself.
So is Monday's game now like a memory? You guys don't even talk about it. You focusing on Montreal, or are there still things that you'd like them to?
We talked about it
labor on
today
today,
because this
okay.
was the first full day that everybody was back. I mean, there was a number of players in yesterday on their own watching film, but we did talk about it today and graded the mistakes and explained where things need to change. But at this point, after that last team meeting right there, it's out and they need to be moved on.
Did you burn the video or did you save anything from it? Was anything better on film than it looked live?
No, the only thing that you can say, the benefit of watching a film like that from an offensive perspective is when players see it and they see the little mistakes and they say, geez, if we'd have just done our job on this play or that play, we'd have been a lot better. And so there's some confirmation, I think, in the video that, well, heck, we did this right last week. Why didn't we do it right this week? And so it's just, I think there's some things there that help the players. But, yeah, I mean, the negative vibe from having played like that doesn't do a whole lot for anybody, I don't think.
The margin of defeat, was it? Do you think that was a valid margin of defeat, or do you thought if some plays went your way that it could have been a tighter game?
No, I thought,
They clearly.
yeah, I thought they won the game by the score. And, we didn't deserve to be any closer than that the way we played.